10 minutes of reality coming to you on Tuesday, February the 27th, 2018. We are now over with February. We've got one more day as we head to the Ides of March. Remember the Ides of March, Greg?
No idea what the odds of March are.
No idea what the Ides of March are, really?
No. Like I'm blanking right now. I'm blanking altogether.
All right, so you must have had ADD during that time when you read Shakespeare in high school.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was the Ides of March. It was something happened in the middle of the Ides of March. And if you are the first person that can email me, david@davidwygant.com, and tell me what the Ides of March were exactly, I mean, I could Google it, but I don't really want to. You'll get some free coaching with either Greg or myself, which would be really interesting. So today I thought would be a great way to really segue into the Ides of March with the lies of January and February. How many
How's that?
lies? Well, yeah, okay, here's the segue here, okay? Follow me out here, okay? Because most of our listeners are really authentic, reality-based people, but I'm sure some of them have spent some of January and February telling little white lies. Or little white lies like 3 feet tall midgets. I just told a little white lie. It's like a character from, look, it's Follow the Yellow Brick Road lie, right? It's a Munchkin
It's a
lie.
munchkin lie. It's not a big deal. It runs away. Run away, little lie.
Exactly. Run away. Look, follow the yellow brick lie. Follow the yellow brick lie. Follow the yellow brick lie. So, I mean, it must be like we could call it a midget lie, a little white lie. What happens if a Asian or a brown person calls it? Are they calling it a little white lie or a little Asian lie or a little brown lie? I mean, fucking lies. Okay. No matter what it is, no matter if it's a little brown lie, white lie, Asian lie, purple lie, blue lie, white lie, they're all fucking lies and you all have to remember it. So you got a book that you got coming out, which is all about lies. And I was involved in one of the lies and right, the truth about lies. There we go. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Right. There it is. So I was involved in one of the lies, which was fine because I chose friendship over the lie. And I said, you know what? This guy is a good guy. I'd rather be his friend. And we'll just work on that lying thing and get rid of it. So
yeah, you worked on it. That's for sure.
I did. So why do people fucking feel the need to consistently lie, not only to others, but the biggest lie, whether it's a midget lie, a little people lie, a white lie, brown lie, purple lie, yellow lie, whatever it might be. Why are they lying to themselves all the time? And the question, Greg, is the people that lie to themselves, do they even know they're lying to themselves, or have they just been so good at it for so long, they just don't understand or know that they're lying to themselves? Whew, that's a lot of questions going your way.
You reach a point where you don't think you're lying anymore. I definitely reached that point.
What was that like?
It was a weird reality, man. It was don't worry about it. Everything will be better tomorrow. It was all about Tomorrowland. It was Tomorrowland for me. Like, you'll find a way to pay these people back. You'll find a way you'll work through it and you'll never get discovered. Everything will be fine. It'll be cool. And obviously that did not work out for me. But today's world, man, it's the way people are lying on a regular basis. It's absurd. I mean, it's absurd. I don't know what's going to happen, but there's going to be a backlash.
How so?
Oh, because I think the reality is that people are going to start realizing they can't trust anybody, and they're going to start questioning everybody. And the person like yourself and me, who can stand up and look someone square in the face and say, you know what, I'm not happy with XYZ, or I think you're full of shit for XYZ reason, is going to become a more powerful person, especially when it comes to relationships, because people are always creating some fabricated story of exaggeration or mistruths. I mean, look at social media and your feed and, oh, look at me, I'm here and this, doing that, and all this crap, and none of it's real.
It's funny. I decided that there's a new ride coming to Disneyland. It's called the Lies of Tomorrowland, the new Disney ride. Come on in. We'll just lie so much about you. Hey,
yeah, because you want to be perceived as something you're not the next day.
Yeah, but the thing is, why do we feel the need to be perceived as something we're not? Are we that insecure as a culture? I mean, your lies were deep. I mean, your lies ran the financial gamut. And, you always believe because of the confidence of who you are as a man that, well, so what if I owe $200,000? I can sell that much in inventory tomorrow, right? I mean, and there's something about that. But there's other people who just tell so many lies on so many different levels. It's from the way they feel, from whether they went to the gym, whether they ate well. I mean, the lies just, they compound on a daily basis. You see somebody who's overweight and they tell you they're on a diet, and you
Yep.
think to yourself, there's no fucking chance you're on a diet. It's like, oh, I've been eating better. It's like, what is it? Why do they feel the need? The people who smoke cigarettes or drink alcohol,
Right.
it's like,
I don't smoke. Yeah, I don't
I
drink.
don't,
Yeah.
I don't smoke, I don't drink, I haven't done it since Saturday, but I'm really quitting, but I'm really not. I mean, the lies come on so many different levels. The lies come on social media. Why are we so afraid of telling the fucking truth? Is it our ego?
Yep. Well, it's our ego, and also I think it's people are so scared and insecure. I mean, all those examples you just gave is insecurity, right? Somebody knows they're overweight. They got to tell everybody they're on a diet because they think that'll make them more socially accepted. Somebody knows that they're smoking, but they got to tell everybody they're not because. And how many times has this happened? With random people you may or may not date, and all of a sudden, like, oh, I don't smoke, or I smoke when I drink, right? And they smoke all the time. It's because they know, especially if you're a person who has their shit together, that you're going to be like, you know what? I don't date people that smoke. So they just waste your time.
That's a great term, by the way. People have their shit together. If you think about it, you should have your shit together. Otherwise, you'd be walking diarrhea. And if you think about it, right, the people who actually tell a lie are consistently having bouts of verbal diarrhea. Words are flying out of their mouth. There's no complete sentences at all, right? They're constantly vomiting loose stuff all
Okay.
over you. And they don't have their shit together, which is really a really good term. I just thought of that in my warped Tuesday end of February world.
Well, that's a reality because when I was in my lying ways and things were really, really bad, the first thing I did every morning, what's the first thing I did? The minute my eyes opened,
Panic.
No, I had to go take a shit every fucking morning. It was the most annoying thing. Like I literally had to run to the bathroom because I would think about all the lies and shit that I would have to come up to cover the day's events, and I'd run to the bathroom, take a crap in my $2 million house.
That was maxed out. That actually wasn't really that fully maxed out. You still had nice, equity in that house.
Well, luckily, yeah, but that's a whole nother story for another day.
So it's funny. So you would go to the bathroom in the morning from all the amount of stress that you woke up with.
I'd throw up randomly. I mean, the lies overtook me, and I couldn't stop because I was too afraid to just face the truth. And now I have this thing in my mind, like I can't even come close to even not telling even a partial mistruth. Like I'm like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar.
I love that scene.
No, I mean
you're fat. Remember that one?
Yeah, that's right.
They told that girl that. Yep.
I don't know if I shared this with you the other day, but I was talking to, I'm not going to mention her name, but the girl I live with, we had sex like twice last month. And one day, and I just woke up, I'm like, this is bullshit, man. And I'm like, at breakfast, I'm like, listen, we got to have sex 2 to 3 times a week or I'm not in. And she just looked at me, almost started crying. I'm like, I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm trying to be real. If I can't make that connection with you all the time, if we're going to get consumed by day-to-day bullshit, then it's not worth my time. And that's honestly how I feel. But it makes you, when you say shit like that, you get such strong results and you walk around like, oh, that's off my chest. I don't have to think about it anymore.
I mean, the freedom to tell the truth is great. I mean, you always say, whenever you're out and about with me, you're like, what the fuck is going to come out of his mouth next, right?
Yeah, but you don't walk around with any baggage. That's the whole point. That's the point of all these lies. People don't realize how much baggage they're accumulating. All these lies are building up in their mind and they're carrying them around like, oh, what do I say? It's like, talk to my ex-wife. She can't keep her story straight, bro. She talks to me and tells me something like 2 days ago. She told me something different. And I'm like, oh, yeah, she just doesn't remember that she told me that before.
Liars can never keep their story straight. Somebody told me a long, long time ago, they said, if you're going to spend a life of lying, you're going to spend a life of spinning stories. When you spin stories, you're not going to remember which one you told yesterday and to whom. And if you talk to 10 people, and that's funny, like I've caught liars in my life, right? Not to mention any liars by name, but I've talked to other people about them. And we all have different versions of the exact same story, right? Yeah. It all changes just a little bit depending on who they're talking to, because liars are great manipulators. So whoever they're trying to manipulate at that moment will get whatever version of that story that will suit them in that present moment, because it all just is a manipulation. It's a manipulation of self. And And the worst thing is if you're a liar and you have kids, you're teaching kids, hey, it's okay to lie. It's
Right.
totally fine. And they talk in third person. Mommy says, Daddy says, God, we don't want to talk about third person people because it makes me nauseous. Went to a kid's party the other day and all the parents were talking in third person.
That's so funny.
Oh, it drives me nuts. One person said, I am Avery's daddy. And I go, nice to meet you, Avery's daddy. I am Layla's daddy. My name is David.
Otherwise known as David.
Otherwise known as David. You can call me Layla's dad if you want. It's so
That's funny.
fucking weird. But yeah, the lies that people spin are so destructive, especially if you're teaching kids, and that's what you do. You give your genes to the kids that you have. Well, most of the time you hope your genes don't fit your kids. It means your kids are smaller than you, but we'll get on that bump moment in a second, right? God, I have got some stupid humor in me today. I woke up on the dumb side of the bed. Good thing I didn't wake up on the lying side of the bed. I could have done that and woke up with diarrhea, but that was your past. So
Yeah, it was.
yeah, I just feel that, we're showing our kids this. Kids see that. Like, you just don't lie. There's no reason to lie. You're only fooling yourself, and everybody else knows you're a liar. I mean, most of the time, when someone's a liar, most people are talking behind their back and going, what a fucking liar they are, right?
Yeah. And not many people square up with you. I mean, that's one thing I noticed. Like, I got away with this for years. I had one or two people that I still remember and I think highly of because they like squared up with me and like, dude, stop fucking lying to me. And
Who did that? Who are they?
Josh Ginsburg.
Do I know him?
Yeah, he was my detailer. He cleaned all my cars. He also was pretty successful. He opened up a bunch of medical marijuana shops. He made a shit ton of money. But I'd be late paying him, or something go on, and I'd be like making a story. He's like, dude, stop fucking lying to me. Just you can't pay me, just tell me. I'm not gonna be mad. We'll just work it out. I kept spinning it, bro. I couldn't let it go.
You come.
And I don't know why. Maybe I think it was because I was scared. My ego was definitely involved. I'd had that business for 14 years, peaked at $10 million in sales in 2006. There's no wonder I had the delusion that I could do it because I'd done it before. But when things got really bad and really ugly, there were a few people that definitely tried to kick me on the right path, but no one ever really sat me down and said, listen, I know the truth or I know what's going on, and I really wish, or even offered to help. I asked for mentors, people to kind of step in. And at the very end, just before everything fell off the cliff, I did confide in one guy. And you know what? You know what he did? He immediately said, "That's okay. Come here. We're gonna fix this together." And it didn't work out because I ran out of time. And then
that was that guy, right? That guy that was going to bail out.
He sold his oil and gas company for like
yeah.
$363 million, some absurd amount of money. And he was going to get me. We went to the bank together to get a line of credit. He's like, "I'm going to bail out all your debts, and I'm going to pay you a salary, and I'm going to manage all your money. You're not going to have any touch of any money." Which and I know, okay, that was our formula before you left me. Which is a whole story.
That's a whole other story. I fucking hanging out.
That was our formula, and we were on the path to riches. But you bailed on me to go to California. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for your path. But that's the formula I needed, and because you can't do both. You can't be like this epic salesperson running a business doing that all, and then managing every dime of the money. I guess some people can. But my mindset's more towards generating the money, not as much managing it. So when I confided to him and I told him the truth, which was hard, but at that time, I was like, "Fuck, he's screwed. I'm screwed. He's my only hope." He didn't blink, and he was going to help me. But then, Mrs. Mrs. Detective blew the whole thing up in the paper, and that was the end of that story.
Fucking detectives, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
$50,000 a year fucking job, man, in Boulder, Colorado. They needed to fucking tear down the white pit, man. Let's go rip them apart, man. It's financial crime.
That's right. Well, that's it. That's big in Boulder. White collar crime.
It is, and it's stupid too, because if she just sat down with you and him and said, "Hey, look, we're about to pay everybody back," it's like,
she knew that. She knew that, according to someone else that was dating somebody in the district attorney's office that was one of my clients who almost became a victim but got paid. She knew it was going down, and she pushed to get me to bring me in so that she could blow it up in the newspaper because she knew that would be done. She wanted to make sure she got the bust.
Unbelievable, man. You see that? And that's once again, that comes into ego because here's the deal. She really cared. We've had this talk many times. If she really cared about the victims, like they
Yeah,
say they are,
that's right.
you
That's
had an
right.
opportunity, you had an opportunity to bail everybody out and start fresh. And you could have done community service and you would have learned a lesson. But in turn, they put you in front of the court.
Yeah.
And then, you had to go to Camp George West, and you had to go and do your 14 months and read meditation books. And it's all things that you would have read anyway, because the fact of the matter is you were on that path anyway, because when somebody was there to bail you out, then you would have bailed. I would have been bailed out of it. I would have gotten my money back and I would have looked at you and go,
No,
and
and
then
you and I.
you could have told the truth. And I would have still fucking done all the shit I did by sending you books and everything
Well,
else.
no, you and I would have launched onto this path a lot sooner.
Oh
If
God,
this
yeah.
if this path had started 3 or 4 years prior, we'd be talking here about how much money we have. It'd be a different story. But yeah, I don't regret my path, but I do think there was an easier way, and I definitely agree with you that it's funny now they bust my balls to pay the victims as soon as possible, which I'm donating the proceeds from my book to help pay for my victims. But if it wasn't for me hustling and moving and doing all the things I'm doing and trying to do it all right, it never would happen. And it could have happened right away.
Of course, but that's the whole thing, and that's when people put their egos and not their logic, and that's a whole other conversation another day. Because if we really are an ego based and we're more heart based, and we really are looking at the greater good would have been that detective sitting down with your lawyer and sitting down with the investor and saying, "Hey, look, you know, yes, he made mistakes. I am here bailing his ass out right now. I'm here to pay all the victims. You want to take his car license? You want to take his license away? You want to do those things? And you want us to reapply under a different corporation? That's where, and I think that's where our whole system, and this really talks, we're going deeper into this, but that's where our system is all fucked up. What kind of system do we live in when the world is about getting even, and we're making a mockery of something when in reality, the lessons you learned, you're already are on your way to learning them. You're
Right.
already fucking learned them. You were already being kicked down. You already were eating humble fucking pie. And you were lining up the right people in your life because I was back in your life. And I never should have left. And I would have never given you money either if I left, because I was still going, that's still my business. I want some of that $10 million, right? Not that I
Right.
didn't do well in what I did, but there was still that inkling. There was still that feeling. It was almost like the girl I gave away, because I remember you telling me when I was dating Denise and I couldn't stand that she was a single mother and that kid was shooting rubber bands at us in the office that day. And she was beautiful, one of the prettiest girls in Boulder. And I was really dating the girl I really wanted to date, but I had to go to California because it was in my dreams. I needed to be a California boy. And that was my mistake. And then I went down financially, and my first year in California in '97, and married somebody and lost all my money and had to rebuild myself. So I think there was always that feeling inside of me going, wow, I maybe should have never left Boulder, because we did have a great thing. We were fucking making a shitload of money when I wasn't short selling the cars to people. We were
Yeah.
doing pretty well.
No, we're fine. Who knows where it would have gone, but I definitely think it could have been something great. But yeah, you know, I don't know. Being honest and direct, even though people get scared, and getting back to what we're talking about, you get scared right away. You're like, oh, what's going to happen to me? I'm not going to have any friends. I'm not going to have any money. People aren't going to look at me the right way. When you go to the bottom and you really start not giving a fuck what anybody thinks about you, which is where I'm at, and where I decided to stay, you just realize like there's no point in telling a lie anymore. And the funny thing is, when you start being that direct, all of these amazing, direct, honest, ethical people show up. That's all I keep saying.
The law of attraction at its best. So, Greg, where can they get this book?
The book is on Amazon. The title is The Truth About Lies.
Show it again. Show it again. We're going to put this video up on YouTube.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
How admitting nothing can cost you everything.
I like that.
Now, there's a couple of different ones up there, and make sure you get the right truth about lies. There's the back.
See, can telling just one lie put you on a path to prison? I like the picture. I don't really like the shirt. That's okay. We'll change.
That's a nice shirt.
It's a Colorado shirt. Did you get it at Nordstrom Rack?
I might have.
Nord-
You see my
Nordstrom.
publishing company? Look at that. See that?
I do.
Oh, good.
Mystique.
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 Anyway,
Someday I'll take it.
we'll have Greg back tomorrow to talk about something else. It will be our Wednesday Hump Day podcast. For the rest of you, think about the lies you're telling yourself every single day and ask yourself this question. How are those lies serving you? How are they serving you? And if they're serving you great, just get on the new ride, The Lies of Tomorrow, coming to Disney soon. You'll wait online because I would say 90% of Disneyland has told some type of lie to their boss about why they're not at work that day when they're really at Disneyland. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow.